Greetings, world. Us hairy game lords this evening have been playing this. Ishtar from ELO Games. What did we think? Find out. Bearded Lady here, and first up I just want to say a big thank you to Coiled Spring for letting us have a copy of this for us to play through. And yeah, we played for 4-player tonight. The quality of the components is really nice. Here's some little plastic fountains that go on. It's a pretty looking game. Here's the wooden meeples. It's nice that it's not the usual kind of maple shape. You've got like the different garden pieces there, nice quality, and even something on the back there, some seeds to bloom a garden. Wonderful. And I really like the kind of like cartoony kind of style artwork on these trees that you can plant. And what's really cool is that it's not just a generic picture for the trees. There are different trees featuring different things, some of them with little gems within the tree, like that. I like that a lot. There's a player board that everybody has with different skills on there, and there are actual plastic gems as well. Good times. So yeah, the game looks pretty as you're playing it, but don't be fooled by the kind of prettiness of the game, because this is a cutthroat game of trying to score as many points as you possibly can, and also stitching up other people so that they can't score the points that they want to, or give you points as they are after certain gems. So there's lots of different ways to score in this game. It is a real point salad, but for me I like that. Lots of replayability. We played a game tonight and already I'm thinking of the next game to play and maybe a different strategy I would take because I fully lost. But hey, never mind. So there's points that you can get in-game, but then there's also points that you can score at the end of the game. And actually on that kind of skills board there, that is a brilliant... I didn't score anything on that skills board, and that's why I came last, because everybody else around the table had worked hard in the game to get gems to be able to unlock certain end scoring points and be able to push through to victory. A good game. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, looking forward to the next one where I can play some different tactics and hopefully not come last. Good stuff.
Slightly Beardy James here. Right, honestly, when this game came out the box, I was like, this game looks dry as, not just because it's a desert, but like, it felt like it was needlessly complicated. It's got a lot of concepts to wrap your head around, because you're taking your territory, you can put your little guy down to claim a garden, but unlike Carcassonne, you can't merge your gardens. Instead, you're vying for control of the different fountains. But then it's not about the fountains as well, because you're also trying to get as many flowers as you can in your garden, so each one of them is worth a point at the end. But then you're also trying to get your trees down there as well. So I've brought an example score sheet, not just showing you it because I smashed it out of the park. Hello, there's a tree. So you can get your points from your trees. Tree cards are sometimes very, very quick and easy to get down. Sometimes take a lot of gems and thought to get down. You got your plants themselves, so if you've got like a very fertile garden, then you will get some points for that. So I'm that J there with the big score at the end. Depending on the fountains that you touch. So you got purple fountains, there's loads of those. I mean 3, that's many fountains. There's 2 reds, there's 1 white. So if you're touching the purple ones, you get 4 points for each one, 6 points for the reds, and 8 points if you are controlling the white one. And that's quite tight, because if you can notice here, it's hex shaped. So if you're trying to get around a fountain without touching another person's garden, so for example Andrew's here, I could be here, Dave could be here, then it's That is, it can get a little bit,
my fountain.
a little bit tight.
Oh my garden.
I stayed well away from Dave's fountain, by the way, tonight. And then there's also your points on the scoreboard. One of the things that I find funny about this game was the score sheet. God, I always think it's funny when a game nowadays gives you this many games double-sided in the faith that you're going to play it that many times. This game actually, like Andrew was saying, is kind of game where you come out of the game and you think, all right, that's what I'm going to do differently next time. And you might have heard the guys saying in the background, this is modular boarded, so it's going to be a different layout every time. Unfortunately, double-sided, it's exactly the same. Why have they done that? Could have put a little bit of effort in there, but I'm sure it's perfectly balanced. So this game looks, to me, dry, but actually, by the end of the game, it's simple enough that I could win it, and that's saying something. So, a lot of fun, a lot of strategy, a lot of out-manoeuvring your opponents. So yeah, check it out.
Hi, Dave the Grey. And yeah, when Ange completely failed to read up the rules, so Pete ended up just reading the rule books to us, it sounded a little bit dry, to be honest with you. And that's not a pun on desert, but, you know, if you want to take it that way, feel free. But, to be honest, James made a big deal of it being really difficult, partly because he won and, you know, it doesn't happen very often, so he likes to big himself up. But it was actually, once we got playing it, it was quite straightforward. There's a bit of a marketplace going on with, these are your little garden tiles. So you have a nice little carpet like this, and basically it's take the one that you're due to take, or pay a gemstone to take the next one, or the one after that costs you 2 gemstones. And to be honest, gemstones are really hard to come by, so you don't want to be frittering them away unless you really, really need to. And that is a big part of it. So my strategy was to go for the skills. I didn't use my meeples very much. Got 21 points for spare meeples at the end. Get in. But I didn't get much in the way of trees, and I didn't get much in the way of fountains, which really pulled me back. So loads of different ways of scoring. Next time, probably go for a slightly different strategy. Certainly I'll go with more getting fountains, because that seemed to be a bit of a winner for other people. But I'm already thinking, what can I do next time? And there's quite a take-thatty element as well, because me and Ange ended up, in our search for gemstones at the end, we gave James a few points because we really needed a couple of gemstones to get the last couple of points that we could get. And that probably tipped him over the edge. So actually, me and Ange won that game.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Me and Ange won the game. Way! Pete lost, and James, well, yeah, he was just our patsy, I think is the technical term for it. But no, quite cutthroat in where you're putting your gardens, trying to stop other people getting to those gemstones and getting to all the cool stuff that you want. So loads of stuff to think about, which is exactly the kind of game you want. So no, really enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up from me. And next time, I'll get him. I will get him.
Having been gaming for a little while now, sometimes it's the little things that take a game, just take a game one stage further. And one of the things that us gamers love is a quality insert, and that can make the difference in terms of speed of packing up and set up, pack away. And this is definitely a really nice insert. Look at this beaut. You've got places for everything, all nice designs. You've got your fountains in there, you've got spaces for your jewels, your meeples will go in there, your trees in there. Everything's got the spaces that you can then reach in and grab stuff out. You've got your player boards, and then you've got your individual tiles, and then this fits on nicely so that you can stack it vertically, and once you've got the boards on top, you're not going to lose everything falling out. They've even got an indent for the rule book on the top. Absolutely beautifully designed. This is what we like. We love it when companies spend that little bit extra to make sure the game that you get has just got that little bit. It's the little things, isn't it? So, in terms of gameplay, like the guys have said, really enjoyed the sort of trying to puzzle out which way am I going to go. I pretty much actually Often in games I'm heads down and probably not always fully aware of what's going on around me. I've got my own strategy and I'll play for that, which in this game probably cost me a bit more because I managed to keep out of everybody else's way and grow my gardens quite nicely. So I scored well on the flowers, I scored well on the trees, I got some nice tree scoring as well as the individual trees. There were a couple of things that if I'd upped the right skills I would have probably scored a few more times, but I had a nice little section of the board because I went with the lowest scoring fountain, so not many people came around my area of the board, so I was able to fill out quite quickly, whereas I think everybody was going for the higher scoring fountains, but actually that only gave them an extra 2 or 3 points. I think so. Lots of different ways to play this game. You could keep yourself to yourself, or you could sort of push out and try and interfere with the other people's gardens as they grew to prevent them moving over, or as like James did, get people to score points for him on their journey to try and get the gems. It was one of those where it made sense so quickly what we were trying to do. I really liked it. Massive thumbs up from me. Hipster King gives it his double thumbs.
Surely not.
Surely
not.
Oh, yeah, they are.